Hi everyone, welcome to another training from Split. Today we're going to talk about split dependency in the targeting rule, and we're going to provide a few examples. So the targeting rules offer split dependency conditions, meaning any group of splits that have the same traffic type can be used in this dependency rule. There are two possible operations. The first one is if the traffic type ID or the user ID that I'm using, if it's participated in another split, what would be the outcome, which would be the treatment for that user ID in another split? Meaning the user, the same user ID I'm using in my split, if it participated in another split and got a specific treatment, then I can make a decision to serve a specific treatment on the current split. Now, the user ID does not have to be actually participated in that other dependent split or exist in that other dependent split. The SDK simply will calculate what would the same user ID would have got in that other split during runtime. The other operation is negate. So if that user does not get this treatment from that other split, then make a decision and serve specific treatment on this split. There are a few dependency safety rules. The UI is designed to prevent any cyclic references, meaning if there is a split that is dependent on another one and the other split is dependent on the same split, which means they're going to go in infinite loops inside the SDK. And that should not be allowed, and actually the UI will not allow it. Another dependency safety rule is you cannot have multiple split showing up in the same rule. For example, if I have split 1 or demo in the first line of the rule, I cannot add the same split in the second line of the rule, because that might lead to always the rule becoming false. So that's why it is prevented. Now, the correct way, if I need to use the same split again, I would create another targeting rule. And this way, I can have separate rules. Each rule can use the same split, since I can decide different treatment based on the rule. So I can have different treatment for each rule. Here is our first scenario. Let's say we have 3 promotions in our website, and we want each user to land on only one of these 3 promotions. If I'm thinking of creating a split for every promotion to enable every promotion, that means each user has to go into only one split out of 3. It actually makes much more sense to have only one split and 3 treatments. So here's the control flow. So we have only one split, and the split will have 3 treatments. Each treatment represent a promotion. And then we can use a percentage rule to allocate 33 more or less to each treatment. This way, every user will only land on one treatment. Another scenario is chain of experiments. And this means we have a hierarchy dependency in a specific order. So we have split 1, and then split 2, and then split 3. One example of such hierarchy is if we have a new product line and a special offer on it. Now, the users that will land on this special product line, or the users that will get on treatment here in the first split, they will see that special product line. Now we want to give a special offer for these users who landed on this new product line. So how do we do that? We create another split that shows this special offer, and we have to put a condition that only the users who got on in the first split should be entitled to enter this other experiment, which is the special offer. And that's why we have to put a dependency rule here. Now let's say after the user got into the special offer, we want to get provide feedback feature on our new product and our special offer. So obviously we would need a third split that will show only the users who got on in the first split and got on the second split to participate in this third experiment. And from there, these users will either get on, which meaning we're going to show that provide feedback, or not. Now, the users that don't participate should go to the default, whatever default we set on all these experiments. Another scenario is when we have a master split that distribute treatment based on percentage. And then, depending on which treatment the user get, they are routed to a different split. They participate in a different experiments. So for example, if we have new schemes for our website, say scheme A and B and C, then any user who gets to scheme A afterwards should only participate in a specific split that is relevant to scheme A only. So here, we're going to have only the users that got this treatment to participate in split 2. Now, if the users got treatment 1, then they will be routed to split 3. Another example is if we want to exclude specific split from participating in any other split. So for example, if we have an experiment here that is running only for a small percentage of our traffic, just 5% only, and this experiment is actually showing a whole new page for our product. So in the other splits that are relevant to the old page, we should exclude the users from the first split that are participating and actually got the new page. The last scenario is the master rollout split. This is not an experiment exactly. It's an easy way of rolling out a feature to all your base customers. So we have a master split that by default should be set to off in the beginning. And then we have a lot of other splits that have a dependency on that master rollout split. Now, since the master split is set to off in the beginning, all the rollout splits will use their own targeting rule. And when the time comes to turn on the features of all these other splits, we can simply flip only the master split, the default rule, flip it to on, and that will propagate into all the other splits, since we already have a rule that if the master split is on, then turn it on. And that rule comes in the beginning of all the other splits, and we know that Split usually evaluates rules from top to bottom. Thanks for watching. Please head to Split Help Center for more information on targeting rules.